in a holistic manner. By that I mean dispersal of the population, dispersal of some business activities, and taking stress off most of our infrastructural facilities in Lagos. Well, this is just the beginning of it. We'll write our report to the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development with a view and making suggestions as to the potentials and the advantages derivable in opening up our rural areas without making them lose the rural touch. Most certainly we'll write our report and we should move in within the next 2 weeks to stop that. You will see that they are virtually getting from the Badagry Creek, they are virtually getting to incur into the Atlantic Ocean. So we have to stop that at the earliest possible time. Well, you will see that for the past 2 days, all we've been able to do is just move around to identify as much as possible the islands. We will then have to take all of these islands, local government by local government, with a view to taking a closer perspective on each village and settlement, determine their economic base, determine the approach for the preservation of these, and preparing them for the effect of they are serving as a counter magnet for the decongestion of Lagos. You're welcome. Well, like I said, is to prepare for the decongestion of Lagos, and then with a view to moving some of these activities, the population, into the rural areas, without the rural areas necessarily losing their ruralness. By that I mean put strategies in place for the population that will eventually move in, take stress off most of our infrastructures like road, drainages, and so on and so forth. Basically, it is to proffer a holistic solution to the inherent problem of Lagos in the area of its projected role of being the third largest city in the world now, that 11 years from now.
We know that most of these lands are virgin areas. For people to move in, definitely there's need for infrastructure to come in place. Do you think that because the government can meet this requirement within this period of the plan?
Most certainly. Most certainly. If the government is not prepared for it, the political will as demonstrated by His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State wouldn't have been as high as this. The motivation given to members of staff, particularly the Urban and Regional Planning Board, to ensure that a holistic approach is strategized for solving the problems of Lagos, particularly when it is realized that the concentration is not seemingly going to stop anywhere anytime soon.
What does it say on the illegal excavation of the site?
The illegal excavation, like you saw, will have to be addressed as early as possible. We will render our report to the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, seek his permission and approval to stop that, because unless you could see that we were about to be attacked at one of the sites, so we'll have to effect arrest, put a permanent stop to it, and that's why I had to, with my team, see the Obakran of Badagry with a view to arranging for a meeting which should hold by Thursday next week, with a view to educating the populace as to the dangers inherent in the activities of the illegal sand diggers.
In the meantime, what should Lagosians be expecting from your Good.
Certainly, they should expect from us a more participatory planning approach as it is being demonstrated. You could see that in Victoria Land, Ikeja. You could see that in Ikoyi. We're trying to get to the rural areas now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
ọba ọ̀tọ̀ ní iṣẹ́ tó bá ń lọ ṣe àwa la rí lọ́nà tẹ́ pé àwa newsmen wá so àwa la rí láyé ọ̀tọ̀ ọba ń lọ wọ́n lọ wo àwọn ilé kan ní ti òbí tán ti ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì so àwa kàn rí bí mo fi.
Lot of things go away from government mind follow arrest for everything from go care things. Care me today going
No, sorry. After that, the development of the sector.
ìdámọ̀lé ọmọ gbogbo èmi ò mọ̀ pé wọ́n tó ń sọ pé ọmọ ìgbà wọ́n ti pé everybody ìjọba wọlé nìkan àbí about 2-3 weeks ago.
Another change.
Ìgbà yẹn ló kọ́ mi pé wà wọ́n mọ̀ pẹ̀.
I received that call from I called his wife. The guy said I should call him and split. And I did that immediately.
Wọ́n sọ fún wọn mẹ́sàn-án aṣọ ní lọ́dẹ̀mí àti sunday pápá òwe bí àti ìbàjá lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀mí ò kàn pé.
Providence ló ní kí lọ sí wá ṣẹ́ ní civil service. I'm wasting and see what has happened. Me, I'm wasting intellectually. I'm not what I want to do. And that's why they are because of any started to have a visa, you know, some posts are not there. People German go, reach everybody. In the system. And I really come try. Oh, the German say, already say,
Ọlọ́ ìbòrò lọ́nà, àwọn sọ fún ní ìdí ẹ̀tọ́ wá sí ẹ̀jọ́ bọ́ọ̀lù fídíò tí èsì ẹ̀fọ́ ẹ pé nọ́mbà
ọ̀dọ́ ta ló sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀pẹ́ local government ẹ̀ka àárọ̀ yeah. Okay. But where it's yes. Local government chairman. He was appealing to me. Checking was I was going to put his job, but he had never generated a transaction. Ẹ̀kọ́ ayé wa kò tó púpọ̀ sáré ìṣòro
airport.
They said they'll be coming to put a letter and everything. They didn't put up any letter, they didn't put up anything, comply with the list of needed documents to submit to the
They check the phone, then
the college fees. No, they have not been collecting any college fees. None of the consultants.
So I will take the question for I'm a one. We take every hour that you are
the number
that to allow you to go on and on and on and on and submit all the requirements only at the end of the day you now say you are not granted consent for so while you would have wasted time your effort and money.
Direct I don't think cut away what in mind already there not so did I only any only that Saturday looking at the clearing.
I requested my assistant as a professional assistant last year. Okay. What was the venture maritime? Okay. So dredging and so more for this certificate was a copy of their plan that time. But ever since no obligation. So how do I withdraw myself? No, but he called it. Is there a procedure to the right thing that the withdraw certificate?
Do you have a copy of it in the
Unless we check.
And this one is directed to is also go senior
Unless we check the plan. I don't know exactly what
Commissioner, thank you very much. Miss Malusi.
Hey, you wanted to call with you?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
For now,
You want me to get the file?
Let's see that.
Bank of somewhat cooking
Very I don't know, I ran this. Maybe I don't know if it's a 419. That's what he does. I was told lots of people do the budget. That is what the budget. They don't want to pay. The customers, all the prices between state and federal, he wants to capitalize on that and say actually what is resolve the problem. What is your own problem with that? federal and state, they are pouring over an issue. What is your concern? Areas that the state has put down. What we want miners and dredgers to do is backing up. This thing is operating very well. In fact, one way or the other, you've been citing some people to not to pay the haulage fees that are supposed to be paid by dredgers, which other dredging outfits are paying, are cooperating to pay. So the bar right from there, you can now copy us. The office. So we'll now take it off. I wanted to ask when you brought this. That was long time. I remember now. I wanted to ask now. How do you come about this? Have you seen it?
Of course. I told him I was thinking for about 2 months.
That was. How do you maintain this when you are old? When he's old, even when he's gone. When it's gone, when it's not an hotel,
nobody can maintain.
It's not an hotel.
When you're losing money, you're only so that's a difficult problem.
Or he claimed to be losing money, he doesn't ask for anything. He has never declared profit. He's losing money, that guy is this, he's selling at this, blah blah.
You cannot say, I mean, nobody will be in the business and be losing money and be doing it every day. Contemporary, I discussed some areas.
We are here to have it. I will start by introducing the person of Mr. Layira. His name is Mr. F.O. Olamide Onuto, Government Control. Chief Engineer of the board. My comments. We'll start by calling.
My own name is Architect and Ebo, the Honorable Chairman, Lagos member. Next, okay.
The members of the Lagos State chapter of the NIA to this long, I would say overdue interaction. I've always made it very clear that since I assumed office here about 20 months ago, that the task that is ahead of us here in the board is such that have to be done from within and from without, and most importantly with the close cooperation of our professional colleagues in the built environment. Most importantly, That puts it on the Nigerian Institute of Architects, the Nigerian Institute of Building, and so on and so forth. And I'm quite happy that though it is slightly late, but they say it's better late than never. Having said that, I want to at least put it on record that some individual members of the institute have been quite close, rendering assistance from time to time, chipping in 1 or 2 words from time to time. But to have the NIA as a body, well, in the last 20 months, this is my first opportunity. So you are most welcome. Thank you very much. And let me just say that without having to waste time, because I actually, to honor this meeting, to allow for it, because I remember somebody called me the first day to reconfirm, and I said yes. Shortly thereafter, we got to someone, and there is this emergency assignment that this time yesterday I was at Alausa. We didn't finish until about 10. I reported that this morning for the board secretary to call me at about 10:30 to remind me this, and I have to take off. So it's going to be brief, but as much as possible, let us put across a few things that we need to talk about. First and foremost, let me just start by saying that from the point of view of the Lagos State Development, Physical Development Authority, which is the new name for the erstwhile Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning Board. And this, I will quickly explain, is with a view to take due cognizance of the new role of the authority, especially as regards the structural re-engineering of physical planning agencies in Lagos State. And to that effect, I am sure you are aware that the national body visited the Honorable Commissioner a few weeks back, and must have been told that now we have a structure that takes due cognizance of both the primary and secondary agencies. By that I mean we now have a clear definition of our functions vis-a-vis the ministry and the agencies. One, for example, the ministry is basically, that is the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, basically charged with the initiation and formulation of physical development policies, with a view to providing for guidelines to enhance the livability of the environment. Whereas the Lagos State Physical Development Authority is now charged with the responsibilities of implementing such policies as one of those implementing agencies, but of course of primary category, not secondary. We have a few other agencies that are within this category, but I will limit myself to that. Having said that, within the new framework in Lagos State of Physical Development agencies, the basic assignments of the Physical Development Authority is that of the preparation of districts and local plans, which is the initiations of the new administration. As a matter of fact, you will agree with me that because Lagos was the first state, and I believe it's still the only state with a regional plan. It is about the only state with about 2-3 districts, master plans. But unfortunately, the previous administrations stopped it at that point. Emphasis were put on this first 2 hierarchy of plans, to the detriment of the lower hierarchy of plans, which are equally as essential to guide development as these 2. So, and then that's led to the how do I put it, the extrapolation of the defined both ministerial and legal framework of physical development agencies in Lagos State. So now, as I'm talking to you, the authority is presently saddled with the responsibility of simultaneously preparing about 13 district plans, out of which we should be through with no less than 8 before the end of the year. And of course, the preparation of various local plans, various action plans, among which is the action plan for the control of waste, control and management of waste in Mushin local government, and the management of market of the same local government. The addressing the problems of action plan to address the problem of drainage network in Shomolu local government, just to mention a few. And then of course, it is also saddled with that responsibility of the control of physical development in Lagos State. One of the new other innovations is the expansion of the scope of work of the Central Monitoring Department to now be addressed as the physical development monitoring department. And that is because of the fact that now it is not just going to go out and just monitor development. If you have all observed, you will see that it is as if it is not the same Lagos that we were last year. By this time of last year, we had reported no less than 8 cases of collapse and no less than 10 data to go by it. But we thank God, we've been able to reduce that appreciably too. We hope to uphold that and as a matter of fact improve upon it. Make sure that incidences of collapse will be limited to just natural and unavoidable human. There are some unavoidable human that come into play. Just to limit so to that effect and to the environment, we now have a role in the Department of Central Monitoring Department, which I refer to now with the new acronym of Physical Development Monitoring Department, to enhance and ensure and enforce stage certification of buildings. And it's in this respect that I will sit very candidly the unbiased and unalloyed support of the members of the Nigerian State Architects. In doing this, we have taken into consideration the various functions of the different professionals in the built environment as much as possible. And we appreciate that not only is one not absolutely separable from the other, there must be some point where somebody had to serve as the coordinator. And we appreciate the fact that the town planner is better placed to coordinate simply because by his or our own training, he is an all-comer stuff. That is, pick a little bit of this, pick a little bit of that. It is not to say that the architect does not know a little bit of planning or a little bit of law. But he is trained to relate the built environment to the larger environment. That will address that layer, that cell of the city, which is the building, and design the unit to incorporate same into that block and that neighborhood, as proposed or advised by the architect. And then it will be for the builder to fill that skeleton with flesh. We have to go into research work to perform all of these things for 5 years. We still have to make some homework. Stepping out. But at least we have stepped out and we have started. That is what is most important for us to move Lagos beyond that seeming planlessness syndrome that we've seen for years. So, to that extent, to take it beyond where the Nigerian Institute of Building have taken us in terms of monitoring of structures under construction. to further enhance that, we now have 20 district offices as against the 8 we started with in January this year. And as I'm talking to you, we are trying to put the structure in place for the local planning offices in each of the 7 local governments in the state. And we believe that by the time we work, we have this type of interactive session on a couple of more occasions, we should be able to walk in straight to the CEO's office, the local planning authority, or the district officer's office at the district level, or come straight here to enhance the workability of all of these strategies put in place. And I cannot possibly just round all of these up in 30-40 minutes. So I thank you very much and look honestly forward to a better working cooperation. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Lagos State Physical Development Authority. I just got to know that your name has changed. I used to know you as the Lagos State Urban and Regional Planning Board. I guess the change comes with additional responsibility and also expectations. We all say that Lagos State is the eye of the nation in terms of all facets, and whatever we do in Lagos State here impacts on other states. As a matter of fact, other states copy whatever initiatives come from Lagos State. It's on that note that I say thank you for welcoming us and throwing a little more light into some of the areas that your authority is doing something about. We have a prepared speech here, but I would digress here and there to be able to capture additional information that I've had this morning. Lagos State Chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. I wish to convey my sincere gratitude for your prompt acceptance of our request to have this courtesy call on your establishment at relatively short notice. This I consider a reflection of your openness and desire to foster a harmonious working relationship with the various professional bodies whose activities impact on the success of a very pressing engagement to be able to make this courtesy call. We are indeed very appreciative. I also want to seize this opportunity to thank you once again for gracing our chapter seminar on the implications of the proposed Lagos State urban and regional planning laws on the building industry professionals held in March this year. You made useful contributions which set the stage for a healthy and intellectually stimulating discussion. Our visit to your establishment today, though is long overdue like you said, is in furtherance of our resolve to seek closer ties with all agencies of government whose activities and policies impact one way or the other on the way we practice our profession. We believe we can enter into a symbiotic relationship such as will foster the achievement of our collective goal, which is a better built environment. This is the first in the series of regular consultations and exchange of ideas on the best way to tackle the contemporary problems that beset the orderly development of our environment. We have observed with admiration the giant strides the authority has made under your leadership to give a human face to the process of plan approval. This is aptly demonstrated in your resolve to ensure that the process does not exceed 30 days under your much publicized Operation 3030. We believe this will serve as an incentive to encourage would-be developers to go the extra mile by obtaining approval before commencing the development of their properties. Also worthy of note is the great improvement in the working environment at a number of your planning offices. This is a departure from what used to be in the past. A lot, however, still needs to be done, particularly in the area of storage and retrieval of approved drawings. We also commend your efforts in ensuring that professionals in the building industry move with the times through the introduction of the mandatory use of computer-aided design and presentation. We believe this will greatly enhance the quality of presentation amongst other benefits. The role of your authority in the conceptualization and development of the Lagos State's urban and regional planning laws, particularly as it relates to filling the vacuum created by the voiding of parts of the Urban and Regional Planning Decree 88 of 1992, is also commendable. We have made useful contributions on the draft document, and this has been forwarded to the Honorable Commissioner for Physical Planning. We, however, wish to use the opportunity of this visit to make a number of requests, as well as make suggestions for possible consideration in the overall interest of architects in particular and the built environment at large. First and foremost, we wish to reiterate our appeal for the greater involvement of architects in the approval process. You would agree with me that it's only fair that architects should approve drawings prepared by architects. We have suggested in our submission to the Honorable Commissioner for Physical Planning the constitution of a Building Regulations Authority, which will oversee the nitty-gritty of approval of physical structures, as opposed to the broader aspects such as layouts and master plans, as well as the familiar aspects such as setbacks, density, coverage, and height, amongst others, that will normally be handled by the Physical Development Authority. This is what obtains in the advanced world. We have also identified the option of fines for contravention as a leading contributor to the degradation of the environment, as because these fines are not punitive enough to deter people, they prefer to contravene and pay the token fine with the attendant effect on the environment. I hope you can borrow a leaf from what the FCT is doing now. They will not demolish your structure, but they will make you pay such a fine on an annual basis that you would rather go and build your structure in an approved and authorized location rather than contravene and hope to pay a fine. We are also advocating a more proactive approach to the issue of change of use. I guess government appreciates the fast-growing pace of the city, which calls for a regular review of the master plan to keep pace with the realities on ground. I wish to comment here that you had in your presentation said that the number of such plans had been reviewed. As a matter of fact, you say there about 13 or so, 13 district plans are in the works, and there are various other local plans. So I think your authority is already looking into this issue. The recent ban on the granting of further approval for change of use in Ikoyi and Victoria Island may just not solve the problem if the master plan is not updated to come to terms with the realities of the fact that there is a high concentration of commercial concerns there, with the attendant effect on traffic and other infrastructure. Little wonder, therefore, that the area gets flooded in the event of any heavy downpour. Much as the recent introduction of the use of computer-aided design drawings for plan approval is laudable, we are just suggesting a one-year transition period, probably up to December 2005, just as the CBN has done with the banks, to sensitize those who have not perfected the use of this contemporary design and presentation to do so. We, however, have our reservations about submitting the electronic copies in diskettes unless we can be assured of the protection of our members' copyright, as this will result in architects' drawings being replicated without their knowledge and consent. We are also suggesting the introduction of the compulsory use of ACON security stamps in addition to the seal, with a covering letter by the design architect as a further check on the proliferation of quacks in our profession. This way, the architect will be made to bear some professional liability in the event that what is being developed is contrary to what was approved. We believe this will deter those who append their seals on drawings not prepared or supervised by them. Architects have reiterated their reservations about the erstwhile certificate of fitness as it contains inherent conflict of rules and near irrelevance of the architect whose traditional role it is to ensure that what he designs is built according to his specifications. I guess you have tried to throw some light into that, but I think it's an area that we can fine-tune on the long run. The important thing is that the society is better for it. I also wish to mention here that the recent proposal to register architects by the Lagos State government has not gone down well with a good number of our members from far and wide who have inundated me with calls seeking for the rationale behind this development when the register of architects is available at the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria for such verifications. To this effect, the chapter is willing to make available copies of the register of architects and architectural firms entitled to practice in Nigeria to the relevant local planning authorities for the sake of verification. They also wondered why architects should be singled out for such treatment. And in furtherance to that, I also have a copy here for the General Manager as an advanced copy. On a final note, we want to assure you of our desire to partner with you and indeed the authority towards making Lagos State a role model for other cities to emulate. This momentum will be sustained in the days and months to come as our doors are open to a mutually beneficial working relationship. Once again, thank you for the opportunity of this visit, and I wish you God's guidance as you tackle the Herculean task of making Lagos the center of excellence it truly is. Thank you.
So I apologize that it was not possible for me to prepare a paper. I came in from my vacation last Friday, just briefly in the office. I was in the office Monday, but usually I had to look at things that were pending. I had to get to the secretariat for Tuesday, only for us to have this sudden assignment, and honestly we didn't leave until about 10 yesterday, and I reported there this morning. So for that reason, you will have to make the socio-economic implication of such exercise. Maybe that man is the breadwinner to maybe 10, 20, in some cases it could be 30. Not with our own extended kind of family background back here. This man had a proposal for, I think it was about 40, 50 bedded on no other road but is that Akintola Williams now? You know, one of the very small plots in Ikoyi. By the time I looked at the drawing, the architect was based in maybe Onitsha or Umuahia. The engineer was based in the same place. Most likely they had not even been to the site. They just took the survey plan from him and gave him something, and bingo, that was it. He will get somebody that will do the foot running for him, the process, obtain the approval, of course, because I cited the approval. It had to take a lot of efforts. We had to get our engineers involved, get the architects involved. How do we help this man out? Because the only option, I mean, what the law says was for us to actually remove the entire thing. And this man was on the last floor of his proposal, the very last floor. So, in situations like that, I'm sure the law, the Constitution of Nigeria will not allow me as the general manager to say, okay, Director CMD, go and get that man in Numa here. That's if he's able to even get there. You know, and we felt it would be safer if those that can take jobs here, without having to say you must reside in Lagos before you can practice, which will be discriminatory. Those that are going to submit jobs here must register. So that's what led to that. And I can assure you it was not for architects alone. It's for all professionals. Town planners, keywers, ES, engineers, all must register. Of course, like you rightly said, that is subject to further discussions and working out. that equally also lead me on to the problem of communication gap that existed for so long amongst us, the professionals. I remember at the time that I was the National Public Secretary of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, I made it point blank to the then chairman of the APPBN that it was not just sufficient for us to meet as members of APPBN in one course area, take tea, take burger, or have, that is not it. We just talk endlessly, and we package reports and send to ministries. That is not the end of it. We must have to start to play some politics. We must have to start to face realities of life. And well, a couple of people promised then that, oh, don't worry, Mr. Rahim, I'm talking, that was way back 1996, 97. Up till now, maybe we'll have some. I think it's about time we close our ranks. You cannot imagine the amount of success we have achieved by just talking to the people. When we started by just going there officially and we just talk, and that is it. But later we followed up with some informal kind of interactions too. Because as we are now, we just jaw, and then when we're going, we have a pack of maybe do not or whatever. But if anybody takes, the inspiration will be better than, will be different from what we have when it is formal or choke up thing. I think it's about time that professionals in the built environment, not only in Lagos, but all over Nigeria, takes that into consideration. More so when you come to appreciate the fact that this is a country where professionals in the built environment we have had to, you prepare your drawing to just take the survey plan. You don't know what the subsoil content of that plot is. I do not know. That is, the authority that is supposed to know does not know, because such maps, such information does not exist on any map. These are areas where we need to start to work closely with both the community and the rulers, because you and I are that medium between the community-based organizations, the individual, and starting from the local government to the state government to the federal government itself, we can make them move things that hitherto are considered impossible. So you see, you raised quite a number of issues. The issue you raised about this penal fee thing, matter of factly, with the emphasis as much as possible. But there again, you appreciate the fact that in a country, especially a state that is so sensitive, and I make bold to say that yes, Nigeria is an heterogeneous society, but Lagos is even more heterogeneous. More heterogeneous because you have some nationals, some foreign nationals that reside in Lagos and Lagos only.